just achieve all of that by herself and while raising us.
Gabby says her running was just a side hustle when she was younger.
Most Olympians have been running their whole lives, especially in high school. They were breaking state, records. That wasn't you.
No, I was pretty good in high school, but I wasn't looking ahead at running in college.
But once she got to Harvard, she caught fire, breaking the NCAA indoor collegiate record in the 200 meters.
So I was pushing myself in the classroom, in my extracurriculars, and on the track. And it forced me to just get better at everything I was doing.
She won 2 medals in Tokyo. After a hamstring injury set her back, she built in time for recovery and rest.
The way I became successful in track and field was basically running track part-time. And I think for me, that's really important for my mental health. Just having other things in my life that help fulfill my goals and make me feel fulfilled.
4 years from now, she'd love to be at the LA Olympics. But one day, she dreams of running a hospital or a nonprofit to expand access to healthcare.
In 5 years, I hope that I'm doing the same thing I'm doing now, which is letting my passions drive me. I'm trying to help people. Exactly.
Kate Snow, NBC News, Austin.
When we come back from Paris, how families are cheering athletes on to victory.
Known as a loving parent. Known for lessons that matter. Known for being a free spirit. No one wants to be known for cancer, but a treatment can be. Keytruda is known to treat cancer, FDA approved for 17 types of cancer. One of those cancers is advanced non-squamous, non-small cell lung cancer, where Keytruda is approved to be used with certain chemotherapies as your first treatment if you do not have an abnormal EGFR or ALK gene.
Keytruda can cause your immune system to attack healthy parts of your body during or after treatment. This may be severe and lead to death. See your doctor right away if you have cough, shortness of breath, chest pain, diarrhea, severe stomach pain, severe nausea or vomiting, headache, light sensitivity, eye problems, irregular heartbeat, extreme tiredness, constipation, dizziness or fainting, changes in appetite, thirst or urine, confusion, memory problems, muscle pain or weakness, fever, rash, itching or flushing. There may be other side effects. Tell your doctor about all your medical conditions, including immune system problems. If you've had or plan to have an organ, tissue, or stem cell transplant, receive chest radiation, or have a nervous system problem.
Depending on the type of cancer, Keytruda may be used alone or in combination with other treatments, and is also being studied in hundreds of clinical trials exploring ways to treat even more types of cancer. It's true. Keytruda from Merck. See all the types of cancer Keytruda is known for at Keytruda.com and ask your doctor if Keytruda could be right for you.
Pod's biggest sale of the summer is extended. Save up to 25% on moving and storage until August 12th. And see why Pods has been trusted with over 6 million moves. But don't wait. Use promo code BIG25 to save. Visit Pods.com today.
Did you know that if you shave, 1/3 of what you remove is skin? New Dove helps repair it. So if you shave it, Dove it. New Dove. Replenish your skin after every shave.
Hey, I'll give you $574 if you switch.
For Gerald?
Well, okay. So what about $574 for switching your home insurance to Allstate?
Well, I try not to think about home insurance too complicated.
Actually, Allstate can handle the switching for you. Just call them.
It's that easy to save?
Yep. And you get Allstate.
Oh, well, that's a step up.
Goodbye, Joe. Check Allstate first, and you can save hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
The opening of the 2024 Summer Olympics was celebrated in spectacular fashion. My favorite part of the Olympics. What is it like to have a medal around your neck? Finally tonight, loved ones are finally back in the stands after 2 Olympics when COVID forced families to cheer from afar. Stephanie Gosk has more tonight on just how much it means.
There it is! Oh my goodness! Olympians often say they wouldn't be here if it weren't for their families. So it makes perfect sense that having their families here for this moment is equally important.
Honestly, this is what matters most.
Whether it's cheering in the stands, rugby player Alona Mar's family celebrating the team's last-second win to raise the or the hugs after the event.
And Mark is back on a podium at the Olympics.
For swimmer Ryan Murphy, there was an added bonus this week after his bronze medal finish in the 100-meter backstroke.
Tonight was extra special. My wife just told me we're having a baby girl.
The 5-time gold medal winner and his wife will be new parents this January.
So it's just like really emotional and like such a perfect moment together. We'll like love that forever.
You really surprised him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
In Tokyo, Murphy made it to the podium while his family watched from the other side of the world.
We were Zooming remotely. It was hard not to be there.
But now in Paris, a new wave of medals with joy and support to be shared in person.
It's nice to like be able to look up and see your family in the stands.
And then there are the Olympians with children themselves. Caleb Dressel hugging his baby boy after winning gold. What did it mean for you to have them there in this moment?
It's special. We know we don't do this by ourselves. Yeah, we need them here, and I'm glad they can make it.
Of course they did. Olympians' families wouldn't miss this for the world. Stephanie Gosk, NBC News, Paris.
That's NBC Cable News for this Sunday. NBC's primetime coverage of the Olympics starts at 7 Eastern. I'll see you back here tomorrow night from Paris. I'm Lester Holt. Please take care of yourself and each other. Good night.
Prime time in Paris, tonight on NBC and Peacock. Never miss a moment of the 2024 Olympic Games from Paris. For in-depth coverage of the athletes, events, and medal counts, download the NBC News app and watch the
I'm Matt Dubin of the Dubin Law Group. For over 32 years, Seattle's been my home. And building personal relationships with the clients I serve here, it means something. It means from the moment you hire us, you'll have your own attorney connected to your auto injury case. You can count on us to listen to your concerns and fight for the compensation you deserve. It's simple. We're committed to putting your best interest before our own. And if that's what you expect from your attorney, you'll feel right at home at Dubin Law. Call us today for the compensation you deserve.
At Mattress Depot USA, we believe everyone is entitled to a good night's sleep regardless of their credit situation. That's why we're approving everyone for up to $1,200 towards the purchase of a new mattress with no credit needed. You spend a third of your life in bed, and a comfortable mattress is essential for providing quality of life. $3,000 credit, 100 days savings cash with no credit needed. Only at Mattress Depot USA.
Prices every day. Mattress Depot USA.
Why? Like, why would they do that in the first place? Because, like, that's our fire department.
Now at 6:30, $30,000 worth of equipment firefighters used to save lives in Pierce County stolen. Why the Pierce County Sheriff's Department says the crime does not make sense. And some areas are dropping air quality across Washington state tonight as wildfires scorch tens of thousands of acres. Meteorologist Leah Pizzetti is tracking the areas seeing the biggest impact. Yeah, Madison, I'll have a closer look at the air quality alerts that have been issued for parts of Washington, plus the sunshine that will stick around this week.
I'm Chris Egan in Paris. There's no pickleball in the Olympics, but I decided to hit the town today to see what the rest of the world thinks of pickleball.
I'm Paul Sylvia on Lake Washington. Great finish today at Seafair. We'll hear from the champ. Plus, the Mariners take it on the chin. Highlights coming up.
We begin tonight with breaking news. One person has been shot near Spanaway. The Pierce County Sheriff's Department says it happened on 27th Avenue East. Deputies say that they were armed when it happened, and the person fired back at the suspect, who then drove off. We're told the victim was seriously hurt. No word yet on what led up to the shooting. We do have a crew on the way to the scene right now. We'll let you know once we learn more information tonight. Also in Pierce County, thieves steal $30,000 worth of equipment from a fire department in the county, and it is all caught on camera. Thanks for being with us tonight. I'm Madison Wade. The Pierce County Sheriff's Department hopes the community can help figure out who did this. And King 5's Cornelius Hawker reports from Keeping and Slow Fire Department headquarters tonight.
Last Thursday morning, security cameras caught thieves breaking into fire department vehicles in this parking lot. And after hearing about what happened, people in this community are asking one question.
Why? Like, why would they do that in the first place? Because I'm like, that's our fire department.
Brent Kirkpatrick says it's frustrating and infuriating to find out someone stole $30,000 worth of fire equipment a year from the Key Peninsula Fire Department.
If you take something, everybody else is going to suffer from it.
The Pierce County Sheriff's Department says 2 thieves, seen in this silver truck, broke into 4 department utility rooms. They stole fire protection and water rescue gear, along with a tracking device to find people in fires and other electronics.
Hopefully, somebody comes across something that was fire-related, you report it to the Sheriff's Department. I don't think you're going to be able to pawn any of these items.
Sergeant Darren Moss with the Sheriff's Department says he can't understand why someone would steal from Key Peninsula with little hope of making any money off the gear.
It's kind of weird that people would do this, but it's also concerning because this is life-saving equipment that the taxpayers have paid for.
Sergeant Moss points out the firefighters and public are put in danger when someone steals gear like this.
We're talking about life or death. These firefighters don't have their equipment. Not just to protect themselves, but to go in and rescue other people.
There's hope someone will recognize this silver truck that'll lead them to finding the stolen equipment.
This is the public's property. The public needs their firefighters to have their equipment.
Grant shares this message for whoever stole from the Key Peninsula Fire Department.
Respect more of one another and the community itself.
In Key Center, Cornelius Hawker, K5 News.
At least 14 people are getting help from the American Red Cross after a fire in Skyway. We first brought you this as breaking news yesterday. King County fire officials say it happened in an apartment building on South 144th Street. Investigators are looking into what started this fire, but it comes after an hours-long standoff. One man was taken into custody after that fire started. The standoff lasted about 2 hours, during which the suspect fired several gunshots as officers staged outside. We are tracking fire activity around Western Washington tonight. We want to start with some good news. Firefighters have been able to get a brush fire on Lake Ballinger under control. Now, this is all happening in Mount Lake Terrace. It started this morning and again is under control. Crews are still trying to get several other wildfires under control as well in our state. We're going to highlight 3 of those right now. The Pincer 2 fire in the North Cascades National Park is 100 acres, but it is closing the Cascade River Road and a few campgrounds nearby. That fire was sparked by lightning. Also, we're tracking a retreat fire that is burning near Yakima with more than 41,000 acres scorched. That fire is partially behind an air quality alert in Yakima County, all due to the smoke. And the Pioneer Fire near Lake Chelan has burned more than 35,000 acres. It's led to many closures and evacuations. The town of Tehican is under a level 3 evacuation order, meaning go now, although some residents have decided to stay behind. Here's a few of the trails that are closed to campers and hikers: Cascade Pass, Horseshoe Basin, and also Flat Creek. We want to bring in meteorologist Leah Pizzetti now. So Leah, we know it's hot, it's dry outside, making conditions really difficult for these fire crews. And then we're also seeing that haze here in Town area. Right, and that is probably the biggest impact for the most people is those air quality impacts. And we do have a few air quality alerts that have been issued right now by the Department of Ecology. Most of this is for Eastern Washington. This does include the counties of Okanagan, Ferry, Yakima, plus the Yakima and Colville reservations. These are going to be in effect until further notice. So let's take a look at that wildfire scope. We see as of this evening, Western Washington looking pretty clear. We do have some haze, looks like mostly up north around Skagit and Whatcom counties. But you see those red dots around Eastern Washington? Yeah, that's where those fires are burning. So as we progress forward into tomorrow, we'll see that nice push of fresh air from the coast. But we're going to see some smoke sticking around in the immediate areas of those fires. And heat is still going to continue the next couple of days. I'll have a closer look at that coming up.
Good evening from the stands, here's pitch. Seafair and the Hydros have wrapped up. We'll have the final for you, plus the Mariners come up a little later on in sport. But first, it's the Olympic report. We'll start with some basketball. The U.S. in action against Germany. Drew Lloyd does not score, but a solid game by former Husky Kelsey Plum. Strong drive to the hole, 6 points, 5 assists. Plum helping the Americans get back into this one after a slow start. She hits Ace's teammate Jackie Young for the 3 ball. 19 points for Young to lead the way. U.S. wins at 87-68. Up next, Nigeria in the quarterfinals Wednesday. How about American distance walker, a heavy underdog, just added to the team a month ago. She had moved from Alaska to New York as a venture capitalist. Starts riding a bike in Central Park. Quits her job to focus on cycling. Then comes out and blows away the field in the cycling final. Like a Ledecky 1500 blowout. Nobody is near her at the finish. Walker is the first American to win this event in 40 years. The Americans win gold, golf gold in back-to-back games. Xander Schauffele in Tokyo. Now, Scotty Scheffler in Paris. He's 19 under for the tourney, one better than Tommy Fleetwood. Scheffler continues what's been a fabulous year. Along with a gold medal, Scheffler wins also the Masters and the U.S. Open this year. In the men's tennis final, Novak Djokovic completed the Golden Slam by beating Carlos Alcaraz. That's tennis' 4 majors and the Olympics. The Joker could not contain his emotions, sobbing for minutes after the win. It's the final missing piece to an incredible career that included 24 Grand Slam trophies. Chris Egan has more from Roland Garros.
Pickleball is the fastest growing sport in the world. Or is it? As an avid pickleball player, I decided to come to Roland Garros today to see what the rest of the world thinks of pickleball. You ever played pickleball? Pickleball? Yes. You like pickleball? No. No idea. You have not heard of pickleball?
No.
Never heard about that. Never heard of pickleball? No.
No.
Bonjour, I'm looking for pickleball.
Honestly, I have no idea, but maybe I think it's a game that you have like a little round net.
You can't go in the kitchen.
You cannot go in the kitchen.
Pickleball. Have you heard of pickleball?
Oh, that's a tough question. We've heard of it, but never played it.
Heard of it, but never played it.
Yeah.
What, have you heard anything good about it?
No.
Oh, yeah. At the Paris Olympics, you could find pins, pink sunsets, parking at the Porte, pubs. The menus are covered with peas, but no pickles. There's pizza and pasta. Oh, perfection, especially with the Parmesan. There's people posing, Parisian pastries, police everywhere, perfect statues, players, but where's the pickleball? This is insane. Have you seen pickleball in Paris yet? No, not here. This group loves Novak Djokovic, but thought I was the joker for asking about pickleball.
I don't know about it.
In the States, you play at parks, even parking garages, but nothing to see in Paris or Poland.
Pickleball? No, I haven't heard, unfortunately, about the pickleball.
No pickleball in Poland?
No, I haven't heard about it.
I hit the streets, I even peeked over fences, still no pickleball. I even Googled it. This club, permanently closed. Perplexed? Yes, but when in doubt, find some Americans.
Guys, if you haven't played pickleball yet, you need to. Love pickleball.
It's really a great sport. So, the popularity of pickleball in Paris might not be what it's like in Puyallup, Portland, or Palm Springs, but I'll keep searching and also teaching. You can't go in the kitchen.
You cannot go in the kitchen.
In Paris, proceed. Take 5 scores.
Here's a look at the final medal count of the day. The United States adds another 10 medals for a dominant lead. 5 of those were gold, which puts them into a tie with China for most gold medals.
King 5's medal count is sponsored by T-Mobile.
Counter-side in prime time, gold medals for the U.S. in track and swimming, and more medals for the women's gymnastics team. Live in Stan Sayers Pits along the shores of Lake Washington, I'm Paul Silver. Madison.
We never know when this is going to happen next. Still ahead on King 5 tonight, a plea for help from the Humane Society in Pierce County. Its recent intake of dozens of cats and how it's preparing for the next round of animals looking for homes. Plus, 80-degree temperatures sticking around as we start the work week. Such a beautiful day over Lake Washington as Seafair wraps up. We caught this moment earlier this afternoon as the Blue Angels performed for the third time. Your first solar forecast is next.
Feel the action with no restraints, no blackouts, and no subscriptions necessary. This is Seattle Kraken on Con, your new home for hockey.
To test the toughness of the Kia Sorento X-Pro and the Kia Sorento Turbo Hybrid, we recreated some of the wettest springs, hottest summers, windiest falls, and coldest winters to prove these three-row SUVs were built for the unstoppable. Get 1.9% APR for up to 48 months on select new 2024 Sorento models.
It's just a hobby, a phase, something you'll grow out of. A weird delta note. Sometimes you're following something bigger than any around. So welcome to the unexpected athletes of Team USA, who followed passion unto flights no one thought they'd ever take. Until they did.
For Attorney General, only Monka Dhingra prosecuted violent criminals, expanded mental health care, and wrote laws protecting reproductive freedom. Only Monka is endorsed by Planned Parenthood votes. Democrat Monka Dhingra for Attorney General.
It's Toyota's National Sales Event. Why take the end of summer fun with an exciting new Toyota? Whether you're paddleboarding in a RAV4, mountain biking in a Tacoma, or tubing with your best friends in a Camry, you'll find plenty to post about all summer long.
Lease a dynamic new 24 Tacoma for $389 a month. Lease a legendary new 24 4Runner for $499 a month. Or choose 4.99 APR financing.
Come in today. Ooh, like
Toyota, let's go places.
A happy place comes in many colors, like one that gets you all fired up. Bring happiness home with Certico Painters and make your happy place your home. Certico Painters, that's painting happy.
Follow the chase for the golden parrots only on King 5.
I choose King 5 mornings for the people. I feel connected to them, their families, their hobbies. They keep me on my toes and in the know. That's why I love King 5 mornings.
It is time for your first alert forecast. A gorgeous day over western Washington as Seafair wraps up on the water and in the skies. Meteorologist Lisa Zetti is tracking those hot and dry conditions, though, through the week. And a few areas of dropping air quality, too.
Dropping air quality, we'll get to that in a moment. But can we start off? Yes, the Blue Angels. Who got to see them today? Thank you to our director who's in the booth right now, Garrett, for snapping this video. I love it. We have Mount Rainier. We have the Blue Angels flying on in, and then we have a seagull trying to race them. Seagull lost. Blue Angels won. I think we all want to know. It's a beautiful day out there. And as we head into the next couple of days, we're going to hold on to these warmer conditions, but we're actually cool down a little bit the next few days. So let's take a closer look at what we're expecting for tomorrow. Big picture, more sun, more heat. The next couple of days, though, we'll see some morning cloud coverage, but we will get that nice afternoon sunshine. A little bit of cooling into Tuesday, and then a little bit of warming into the end of the week. But all in all, no major swings. It's just a couple degrees here and there. So tomorrow morning, as you were waking up, we're going to see a little bit of cloud coverage tomorrow, mostly along the coast and then creeping into south and central sound. It clears quickly, though, into the afternoon. Around Puget Sound, lots of sunshine. Still some cloud coverage hanging on over along the coast for tomorrow. Daytime highs for tomorrow will be a little bit cooler. 70s and 80s are expected across western Washington. That's pretty close to normal for this time of year. Still a touch warmer than normal, though. We've been staying above average these last couple of days. Hourly breakdown around North counties, Everett showing we'll see sunshine throughout the day. Temperatures staying in the 70s through most of our afternoon hours. Actually pretty comfortable out there. And down south in Tacoma, there's that morning cloud coverage. It's quick to clear
We'll see lots of sunshine hitting those 80s into the afternoon. Here's that air quality that we were just talking about. Western Washington, we're looking okay. Yeah, that nice fresh air pushing in. But Eastern Washington, that's where we're going to see some air quality issues. That's where we have those air quality alerts that are in place as potentially unhealthy for sensitive groups into some of those areas closest to those fires that we've been tracking. Let's take a closer look at Tuesday. This is going to be our coolest day of the week. Cloud cover's looking a little more dense as the day starts Tuesday morning. It will still clear into the afternoon, but we'll still see some cloud coverage hanging on. Same recipe over along the coast. That's going to really help keep temperatures on the cooler side. So 70s with maybe a few 80s, but really will be dominated by the 70s for Tuesday. 60s continue for our coastal communities. This is going to be the coolest day of the week. As we progress beyond that, we'll see temperatures gradually warming up. Looks like we'll see 80s and even nearing and surpassing the 90s as we head into the end of this work week. Looks like Thursday into Friday and maybe bring into Saturday will be our warmest days of the week, but staying for the most part in the 80s this week.
The King 5 Sports Report, sponsored by Xfinity. Stream sports from the best seat in the house with Xfinity because it's only live once.
We're back in the State Series pits on Lake Washington. This is the Beacon Electric, folks. J. Michael Kelly was the winner today here at Seafair. They're all heading out. We'll get to the Hydros in a few. First, let's get to the Mariners and their chance to sweep the best team in the National League. Head over to T-Mobile Park and a lot of action for at least the Phillies. Logan Gilbert earns another quality start. His 18th, tied for first in the majors. Gilbert's only mistake came on the third pitch of the game. Kyle Schwarber slugs a solo home run to lead off the first inning. Seattle's bats pretty much silent with only 3 hits today. They relied on defense. They keep minutes to the 7th. Victor Robles gets on his horse, robs JT Realmuto of extra bases. Robles keeping it a no-fly zone with Julio still hurt. Phillies return the favor in the bottom of the 7th. Jorge Polanco beats Brandon Marsh, loses it. The sun just kind of throws his glove out there. He comes up with the catch. Even he can't believe he came up with it. 8th inning. The Phillies pummeled the bullpen. They hit 3 home runs in the inning. Bryce Harper clobbers one of them, and the Mariners lose today 6-0.
You're still thinking you got a shot, nothing, and you're hanging in there. You know, in games like that, you got to catch a break. I was hoping the ball would get inside on Marsh. Somehow he made the play, but you know, you look at the matchup coming into today's game. You know it's going to be a low-scoring game. You got to figure out a way, and we just weren't able to solve Zach Wheeler.
San Diego, Seattle Seawolves playing in the MLR title game for the 4th time in 6 seasons. Defending champs, New England Free Jacks, standing in the way. Joe Tapa Te'e scores Seattle's first try in the game. Seawolves down 14-8 at halftime. Second half, Matt Mason's kick keeps it close, but that's the final points for Seattle. Seawolves lose 2011. Free Jacks win their 2nd title, tied for most championships with Seattle. Great day of conditions for one of the premier events of Seafair. Man, they got it going today, and a great finish in this race. Came down to 2 Hydros down the stretch. Corey Peabody and the Beacon Plumbing received a minute penalty for encroachment in the lead to the start of the race. While one Beacon boat dropped back, the other shined bright. J. Michael Kelly rides the Beacon Electric to his 4th straight win at Seafair, his 6th overall in Seattle. Dave Willock makes history at 70 years old, becomes the oldest to ever drive an unlimited hydroplane at Seafair. He comes in 3rd place right behind Jamie Nielsen and the Miss Mercury's Coffee. For Kelly, there's nothing like winning in Seattle.
Absolutely amazing. I mean, after my crash last weekend in Tri-Cities, you know, to bounce back after a long weekend and come out on top of that final, just absolutely amazing feeling. Got an amazing group of guys and gals on the race team that spent a lot of time putting my boat back together, and so without them, I definitely wouldn't have been up here.
J. Michael Kelly loves winning in Seattle again, 6-time champion here on Lake Washington. We'll be right back.
The King 5 Sports Report, sponsored by Xfinity. Stream sports from the best seat in the house with Xfinity because it's only live once.
Trusted forecast when it matters most. King 5's first alert.
This new Kraken season is shaping up to be something special with new faces behind the bench, new all-stars on the ice, and new ways to watch all season long for free. Feel the action with no restraints, no blackouts, and no subscriptions necessary. This is Seattle Kraken on Con, your new home for hockey.
In all of Seattle, there's no place like Wicked. Wicked, the original Broadway blockbuster, flies back to the Paramount Theater from November 6th through December 1st only. NBC Nightly News calls it the most successful Broadway show ever. Visit stgpresents.org to get Wicked.
Struggling with moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis? Talk to your doctor about #1 prescribed Entyvio, offering 2 maintenance options, including the Entyvio pen. Infusion and serious allergic reactions can happen during or after treatment. Entyvio may increase risk of infection, which can be serious. PML, a rare, potentially fatal brain infection, cannot be ruled out. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, sores, or are prone to infections. Liver problems can occur. Entyvio, relief, remission for real.
Democrat Emily Randall would make history as the first LGBTQ Latina in Congress. A leader in the state Senate, Randall has taken on extremists, flipped the Republican seat from red to blue, and protected women's reproductive rights. It's why Emily Randall is endorsed by Planned Parenthood and Senator Patty Murray. Let's make history with Democrat Emily Randall for Congress. Protect Progress is responsible for the content of this ad.
Seattle Opera presents one of the most iconic operas of all time, Pagliacci. An acting troupe arrives in a small Italian village and transforms themselves from commoners into clowns. But comedy turns to tragedy when jealousy rages and infidelity is revealed. A classic 1930s production Broadway World calls absolutely superb. Don't miss Pagliacci, August 3rd through 17th at McCaw Hall. Details at seattleopera.org.
We return now to breaking news. We first brought you at the top of this show. One person has been shot near Spanaway. This is a live look at the scene tonight. The Pierce County Sheriff's Department says the victim was armed when it happened, and she fired back at the suspect, who then drove off. We're told there was some sort of confrontation before that shooting happened. We do know deputies are looking for a male driver. We'll let you know once we learn more from Pierce County tonight. The Humane Society for Tacoma and Pierce County is asking for help after taking in more than 30 cats that were on an unsafe property. This is all happening at a time when the shelter is already overcrowded. King 5's Brady Wakiano reports from Pierce County.
We never know what's going to come to our doors on any given day, so the community's continued support really makes a world of difference.
A difference for animals in desperate need of a new home. Like the 33 cats and kittens that were taken in from a Pierce County property last month.
Our veterinary team immediately sprung into action, treating them accordingly. There was, upper respiratory infections among the cats. So administering antibiotics, ointments.
That number of animals coming in all at once puts a significant strain on the Humane Society for Tacoma and Pierce County, relying on its medical care, supplies, and space.
As an open admission shelter, as soon as one animal is adopted or placed into a foster home, their kennel is quickly filled with another animal.
She anticipates more animals coming in from that Pierce County property, which is now under investigation, adding to an already overcrowded shelter.
We have about 90 animals that are ready to go home right now, available for adoption, and then we have about upwards of 400 that we're caring for in total.
Despite that total, she and her staff promise their doors will always be open for animals in need, and hope the community will consider opening their homes too.
We always are looking for our community support, whether it be through donations, fostering, adopting, to help us so that we can help animals in need like this.
Reporting in Tacoma, Brady Wakiano, King 5 News.
And we'll have a last look at your forecast when King 5 News returns.
This summer, it's time to get away with super hot deals on your favorite Hyundai models. All backed by America's Best Warranty. Plus 3 years or 36,000 miles of complimentary maintenance. Add more joy to your journey at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. But act fast, because these deals will be over before you know it. Get in and get away now. Get 0% APR for 60 months or $14,000 lease bonus cash on the Hyundai Ioniq 5. Hurry in to the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event.
I love watching Q5 Mornings because I love who they are as people. I've been watching with Rich since I started watching the Fikus. Shanti does a great job of reporting where the topic is.
They know the information that I want, and they're great to watch.
I'm Matt Dubin with the Dubin Law Group. For over 32 years, Seattle's been my home. In building personal relationships with the clients I serve here, it means something. It means from the moment you hire us, you'll have your own attorney connected to your auto injury case. You can count on us to listen to your concerns and fight for the compensation you deserve. It's simple. We're committed to putting your best interests before our own. And if that's what you expect from your attorney, you'll feel right at home at Dubin Law. Call us today for the compensation you deserve.
Oh no, iPhone 15 with tons of storage. I really want one.
Yo, you went 14 times on the LPGA tour. Since when is one enough for you?
That is true. Get your head out of the sand track, switch to T-Mobile, and get 4 iPhone 15s on them. And 4 lines for just $25 a line. And you can save on every plan versus the other big guys.
Swing big at T-Mobile. Get 4 iPhone 15s on us and 4 lines for $25 a line.
4.
King 5 News is sponsored in part by T-Mobile.
The future of Washington State ferries is electric. In a story you will only see on King 5, we sit down with the man at the helm. He says his top concerns are the same as frustrated passengers.
I think it's important that people understand that I know and we know that we're not meeting expectations right now. But we do have plans in place to get there. It's just going to take time and patience.
Tomorrow on King 5 Mornings, you'll get an exclusive look at the new hybrid vessels coming to our state's waterways.
And before we leave you tonight, thank you, Chris, for sending us this photo of the Eiffel Tower. They have some lovely blue skies, but hey, we have the Blue Angels. Hopefully you got a look at them. They take a show this weekend.
Oh, I love those videos. So beautiful. Thanks for watching, everyone. Good night.
At Toyota's National Sales Event, we've got a long lineup of vehicles for summer fun, like Camry, RAV4, Highlander, GT4X, Tundra, Corolla Hybrid, Tacoma, Sienna, Corolla Hatchback, Sequoia, Breeze Prime, RAV4 Hybrid, Land Cruiser, GR Supra, Toyota Crown, or
Lease a powerful new 2024 Tundra for $579 a month. Or get one with 1.99 APR financing. Or choose $2,000 customer cash.
come in today.
Toyota, let's go places.
As a doctor providing reproductive health care, the last thing we need is anti-choice Republican Dave Reichert as our governor. In Congress, Reichert voted for a nationwide abortion ban with criminal penalties for doctors. Not just once, not even twice. Reichert voted 3 times to outlaw abortion, even here in Washington. For my patients and all Washingtonians, we can't give Dave Reichert the chance to take away our reproductive freedom.
David, did you remember to get me an anniversary present?
Anniversary? Of course, it's Mattress Depot USA's anniversary, and we're having a gigantic sale.
Take advantage of our best prices of the year.
And interest-free financing.
David, you do know anniversaries only come once a year, right?
Yes, and if you miss ours, you'll be sorry.
At Delta, we're proud to give a little back on a journey that has pushed Team USA as far as they could go.
You're too fast, too slow.
And often further. While we may be the airline these athletes trust to get to Paris, it's here who gets you there.
Follow the chase for the gold in Paris, always on King 5. On a sunny Sunday in Paris, the road race in women's cycling taking over the city streets. What a scene, just what the organizers envisioned. There are thousands of fans lining the course, and late in the race, a surprise to Team USA. Christian Faulkner among the top 4 riders. Faulkner was a college rower she never seriously rode a bike until she graduated in 2017, working in venture capital, looking for a hobby. 7 years later, she's an Olympian, and today, found history.
Oh, what a compelling finish, and there goes Faulkner. There she goes. She launches the move up the left-hand side of the road. Kristen Faulkner making the acceleration after they cross the set. Blanca Voss trying to get back with Mariana Voss on her wheel, but that's a great move by Kristen Faulkner. 2 miles left to go, just minutes away from deciding the medals. Incredible power by Faulkner, just nose to the grind, so now Mariana Voss can't come around. Blanca Voss, Norkin, Monica Peggy. This could be a solo win for the Americans. Nobody's chasing. Nobody is chasing the American Kristen Faulkner. The gap is exploding. She is riding away to a potential gold medal. This is stunning. A breathtaking acceleration and attack for all time. In the city of artists, this is a true avant-garde performance by Kristen Faulkner. The rower from Harvard, who's been riding a bike less than a decade. Kristen Faulkner from the small town of Homer, Alaska, making the turn across the Seine. She is the genuine article. And Kristen Faulkner in the shadow of the Eiffel Tower with a landmark U.S. gold medal in the women's road race.
Steve Schlanger and Bob Roll on the call. 31-year-old Kristen Faulkner on the bike, bringing home gold in a race that isn't even her specialty. Her parents, John and Sarah, all the way from Homer, Alaska, there to give her a huge hug. Talk about Gold Rush weekend. A stunning win for Team USA on the bike. Just the start of an unforgettable Sunday in Paris.
Vice President Harris mentions running behind Tuesday, and that's which kicks off her travel to 7 battleground states in just 5 days along with running. Donald Trump, on the other hand, has one rapid schedule for next week.
ABC Senior White House correspondent Stephen Wayne says Arizona Senator Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro and Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg are among the people meeting with Harris. The U.S. has added its military presence in the days that have been felt this week for possible attacks by Iran. Pentagon says listed missile defense capabilities in this area will remain as they are. Fighter jets will also be sent to the USS Abraham Lincoln aircraft carrier strike, maintaining carrier strike for the president. Today's offices lead carrier strike for Afghanistan, Zimbabwe, and Virgin Allies. This weekend's biggest events is ground to combat large building. The U.S. Open of Surfing is running from its beach, as does the OC Fair. There's a new electronic music festival, the Hard Summer Fest, happening in Oliver Park, next to SoFi in Inglewood.
The middle weekend of the games of the 33rd Olympiad in Paris, an Olympics that have already been worthy of their extraordinary backdrop. The City of Light welcoming the athletes of the world. What a brilliant setting for a gathering that will take its place in the long and storied history of this global capital. One of the biggest stories the past week, Caleb Dressel and the American swim team battling arch rival Australia, the final chapter in the chase for gold tonight. Suni Lee came into the uneven bars with a gold and bronze already in these games, aiming to add to her collection this evening. And then Noah Lyles, the brash American who considers himself the heir to Usain Bolt. Tonight, the race is on to claim the official title of world's fastest man. And we watch it all from our spot across the River Seine. A look above to our home here at the Cafe de l'Eau. For this evening, I want Mike Tirico Black. We're back with us at the Olympics and on prime time in Paris. Our event of the night will take us to the track for the men's 100-meter final featuring the reigning world champ, Noah Lyles. And we'll head to the pool with 2 U.S. teams going for gold in the 4x100-meter medley relays. Those races will be brought to you with limited commercial interruption by Visa. And we'll start things off with swimming. Sweden's Sarah Sjöström, a gold medalist in the 100-meter freestyle, sprinting for another Olympic title in the 50 free as we go right out to the pool.
Dan Hicks back with Rowdy Games. Melissa Stark will join us in a bit, as well as Elizabeth Beisel, who is going to win 4 gold medals. The United States with a big lead, Rowdy, in the overall department, 25-16 going into this final night. But Australia with a 1 gold medal lead as we approach these 4 finals.
How about that? 7-6 going into the last event. The United States has 4 chances at gold tonight.
Australia really puts a focus on those goals, so we'll be charting that as we head down the 4 finals. But it's Sarah Sjöström of Sweden, who is about as big a favorite as you can imagine in a 50-meter free race. She's 30 years old. She already won the 100, and now comes Gretchen Walsh, the lone American in this final. Simone Manuel, who won the event at the U.S. Trials, did not make it out of the prelims, so Gretchen Walsh will be in lane 5 right next to Sjöström, who was just incredible in the 100 free, became the oldest winner of that event earlier. But there is Gretchen Walsh. She was a part of the gold medal winning mixed medley relay last night, and she's dedicated that gold medal of hers to her sister Alex Walsh, who was disqualified in the final of the women's 200 IM after what she thought was going to be a bronze medal.
Here we go, Rowdy. Oh, that start there by Sjöström right there in lane number 4. That's the best breakout.
Just because the vegetables or because the psychedelics?
I'm finding out with you.
Just because the vegetables because the psychedelics?
This show is brought to you by Track. Never lose anything against
Oh,
Track.
just because the vegetables or just because the psychedelics?
Again, gold in the 50. Matt Harris. Got the silver for Australia. Sean Eubanks took the prize. And Gretchen Walsh was 4th. I won 100th of a second. How many times have we said that, Dan? I mean, how many times, if there's any doubt whatsoever that she's not the greatest female sprinter in history, she just erased that.
Greetings from Podcastville. The church is brought to you by FujiSports.com. If you're looking for a gi, if you're looking for shin guards, if you're looking for boxing gloves, a mouthpiece, whatever the fuck you're looking for, Fuji's been there since day one. They survived the bomb. You know what I'm saying? They ain't fucking around. Me, I'm a big fat fucker. I go to jiu-jitsu, they tug, they pull. The fucking Fuji gis are tremendous. Go to FujiSports.com right now. Press in church. Bam, get 10% off. Sent right to the fucking concert. You don't have to leave the house. The Japanese guy shows up. Number 2, you know me, dog. I always come up with something new and revolutionary for you. You ready for this one? SoloJitsu.com. These are those playing cards that have like hip escape sign and rollovers. And what you do is you play by yourself in the hotel room. And you put the card and you just play 2 hip escapes. Whatever fucking cost, whatever fucking calls for, you do. A push-up, whatever. And at least you get entertained by yourself. Go to SoloJitsu.com. Tell them my section is taking over. All right, take this fucking deal, dude. What's happening, Mr. Garcia?
How you doing, man?
You know, I just forgot I even had that. You know who that is?
No, I don't. I was sitting there trying to figure out who it is.
His name is Hollywood Anderson.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, and this motherfucker was the guy that invented cocaine. Like he fucking took it to the next level, like in the NFL.
Was he on the Dolphins team?
He was on the Cowboys. He was a linebacker on the Cowboys. And they did an article on him in 1980 in Playboy.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of the best articles I've ever read in my life. And then Sergio Ortega, the guy from the church, found the Playboy at a flea market and sent it to me. And next time I'll have it here for you. It's just the first paragraph.
Yeah.
I was a rookie. It was 108 degrees, and I was in Thousand Oaks. It's the Dallas guy.
Yeah, in Oxnard. They're still up there. They just started again, I think.
So he goes, at $23, a half a gram of coke and 8 hits of acid. I mean, that's how the paragraph, something just crazy, you know. And then he goes on, just goes to Dallas, and how he would come back to LA and hang out at the Comedy Store with Richard Pryor and the Pointer Sisters. and they were fucking free-base cocaine, and then he went nuts. But against the Denver Broncos in the playoffs, right before he went to play the Broncos, he can of orange crush, and he fucking crushed it. He was like, fuck you motherfuckers up. And in the Super Bowl, he intercepted the ball and fucking scored a touchdown, so he was badass.
Yeah.
But he's snorting blow with 3 hands. This is the 70s. Nobody knows what to do with this fucking. The NFL has got hands from the NBA. This guy, Marvin Bad News Bonds, they threw him out of the game once he came out with a 45 wanted to shoot the ref. You know, this is when they were still fucking crazy.
Back when sports were fun.
Fucking crazy. Yeah, this fucking nut is a great linebacker. You know, he's a great linebacker. His drug use is kind of coming out little by little. And then one day, when they had the old coach, Tom Landry, the real old.
Yeah, with the hat, sure.
They were losing on national TV. And this motherfucker got a towel company. Drew Pearson had a towel company. And he put the towel company in front of his dick. It wasn't sexual.
Yeah.
That's what you put your towel with your quarterback. And he went like this with the towel, number one. The next day, Tom Landry fired him. They fired him. Knowing he was a coke fiend.
Yeah.
I mean, if you watch the footage today, as they're going into the locker rooms after a game and people are going, yeah, yeah. He's like yelling, party. Where's the Colombians at and all this shit? This is night. They're not ready for this shit. Guess who picks him up? Who do you think? What team picks him up?
I don't know.
Miami Dolphins.
Okay. There you go. Perfect.
He goes to Miami. I don't even know if he got to play. I don't fucking remember. But he's down there maybe a week. And Pat, like he got caught smoking pot. So now they can't find him. He's MIA, and they send the big guy from the Oakland Raiders, that cowboy, the guy that. Oh man,
Romanowski?
No, every year he has like his top dozen football players. Madden.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Madden. They sent Madden to interview him. And Madden's like, we're here to just go over to Miami in the afternoon. And fucking Howie was like, so what? I smoked a joint with a stewardess. And that was the end. That's it. And he went off the deep end. But then he found Christ. And then he won the lottery in Texas with like $8 million, like the lotto. And I don't know if he's back or not.
What a life.
Yeah.
Well, now, where'd you get that poster, though?
A friend of mine named Barbara Linkus knew I was a fan. Okay. Like his legendary.
Yeah.
And sent me the poster. I think he sent me the poster. He sent me 2 great books on him. You know, it was just fucking crazy.
7-Up didn't care that he was doing coke. They put it right.
No, they put it right there. He's a spokesman. That's why I just figured that was a 7-Up poster. I didn't even saw that before.
Yeah.
America's turning up 7-Up.
Yeah.
What's up, dog?
How you doing?
Fresh. I like that new concept you have. So you have this show. They don't bother you, so you'll never go back to network television.
I don't know, man. It's gonna be tough. Yeah, this new one that they just let you do what you want, which is cool. So, but if it sucks, then it's all on you. But it's been a good ride with this one.
I did a network show 2 years ago. I was only there for 2 days. It didn't bother me at all. I felt bad for the series, right? Because it was CBS.
Yeah.
And they were getting fucking tortured.
Yeah, they'll have a lot of thoughts.
I was sitting there, and I mean, the writers, and then some guys making faces, and then the director would tell me no. And it was just, and I'm watching this going, why does this even have to happen for us to make $1 here? You know, and something, the writers wanted something to work, but the network didn't. And I'm sitting there going, what the fuck? And it was a popular show, got canceled, not really matters. Really at the time, but it's
hard, you know. It's hard enough to do one of those things every week without having to be at war at the same time, you know, and protecting stuff and what have you. But there's a lot of places now, I think, where they're being a little more hands off. Let you do your thing.
With you, they're very hands off. I mean, nobody bothered me on that fucking set at all. Mary was high up.
Oh yeah, I bet he can do whatever he wants.
They don't even show up.
No, they don't show up.
Nobody shows up.
Yeah.
You know, when you get into, and I'll say it, I'm 55 years old. I think the worst I ever worked for was Fox.
Yeah.
They just broke me. They really broke me early on. I shot 5 pilots for the kid.
Yeah.
They just, I couldn't. CBS has always been cool with me. NBC cool like a motherfucker, you know.
Yeah. And everybody changes.
And ABC was cool, like Fox has always been the one that's always gotten on my nerve. Every time I do a show for Fox, there's a fucking Bible like.
Yeah.
Like I'm in a trailer in a bathroom. There's always fucking something. Even when I did the Best Damn Sports show, there was always something. You know, like there was always something with Fox that I didn't have with anybody else. You know? There's always, that's it. CBS, you know when you get to the set. It's like when you do, well, I did Spider-Man 2. You know, you get people that open the door.
Yeah.
They pay them scale, open the fucking door. And then you can run to $100 a day movie where ain't nobody doing dick for you. You know what I'm saying?
Like, Joey, where else is going to need you to open the door?
Yeah, you got to open the door. You got to put your own. Oh, did I tell you you have to bring your own clothes? You know, those, I've done $1,000 a day movie.
Yeah.
Like, wow, I couldn't handle this.
Yeah, run the kookaroo for us. I mean,
you know, Spider-Man, people would tell you, what's that chord? Yeah, there's the Friday lobster tails on the grill. Come on. And all those people like eating salads, I was taking lobster tails to go.
Yeah.
I was stealing lobster tails. I had more lobster tails in the room than real lobster. I was fucking, you think I'm kidding you? They had a grill. They had a 20-foot grill with 4 guys cooking fucking lobsters on Fridays on Spider.
Yeah, it's a different world.
Now, they had the gallons of palm. And then in 2003, it was $5 for a little bottle of palm. It was like $30 for a thing. I would go to Spider-Man 2 and first for breakfast, I would pour something, I had a duffel bag. Best Damn Sports Show, right there, so where we shut this.
Yeah.
I put the whole gallon of palm in the duffel bag and take it right to the $30.
Yeah, you got to squirrel away.
And then I'd smoke dope in the green. Sony has a back section that nobody knows about. It's like a little hotel. And they like little backs. And they put us back there for the old phones. They were out of trailers. And I loved it. Got a TV in it, got a phone, like one of this calls. This is 2003. Cell phones still banged out for the minute. I'm there like fucking.
Hey, you're catching up.
Oh, I'm calling Europe. You know what I'm saying? I'm making calls, but every morning I get there. And I'd be lazy. I got so lazy on Spider-Man 2 that I'm just rolled dope and embarrassed. And then I would pop my head up and I'd see the costume lady push me on the wardrobe in, and right behind her I'd see Sam Raimi. Right before Sam Raimi would hit the building, I'd run out of the building and grab Sam and excuse me, Mr. Raimi, I think the Bobby can't save you money. So that you smoke marijuana. I'm a Christian. This shit has to stop. And he would walk and go, let me get to the bottom.
That's a good move. And then go back and drink your palm.
Did you see what the budget was for that? The Spider-Man? Yeah.
$200 million.
Yeah, they were throwing away money for no reason, man. Like, they were, those movies like that are fucking crazy.
Once they get that big hit, I guess, then.
Oh my God, it made them 783. Oh yeah, no, they dropped 2 to make a ton of dough. The guy won an Academy Award for the set designer for. He won the Academy Award for Star Wars. I mean, that movie was no shortage of dough.
Yeah.
The fan they had to keep you warm, because it was August when we shot that film. They had a fucking fan that, I'm not kidding you, had to be. Okay, you know when he was on the train, he was stuck to the train?
Yeah.
That was a fan blowing out. This fan was like a fucking airplane engine. Like, hey, get out of the way. People with fucking things would go flying and shit. You know, it was just great. When you work on a movie like that, it spoils you. You know, I had a couple, like I had the Taxi, you know, these are okay.
Yeah.
And then everything hit the fan, and the $100 movie started coming out. And you get in there, they got like apple, a jar of peanut butter with like a fucking fork in it, and you're like, ooh, like this Spidey.
Yeah, there's like 3 half a donut.
Yeah, Spider-Man had walls of fruit.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not taking walls of fruit, cold cuts, and never mind the longest show we were in Santa Fe. I understand that I hired these women to just carry trays like this, like cigarette girls.
Yeah.
And they would have smoothies and protein shakes.
Like a cocktail party.
It was walking around. We had umbrella girls. They went to a strip club in Albuquerque and got umbrella girls. A yard and a half a day. So you would get a suntan. So you would look the way.
We were shooting Earl once on Woodley, and it was hot as hell. And we had a PA with an umbrella over Jamie Presley. And somebody, the PA's following her around a little bit, making sure she doesn't get all burned out. And somebody drives by and yells at us, yells something like, get the fuck out of the road or something. And Presley starts chasing down this car, and she runs about 200 yards chasing the car, and the PA's running right next to her with the umbrella on. The funniest looking thing.
he's like, I'm gonna get fired if she gets it.
Exactly. The sun hits her. I'm next. So he just kept right there with her. Kept her in the shade the whole time.
How fucking crazy is that business?
So stupid.
I work in post, so I didn't really get a ton of it. But I had the guy who was the doctor and like Dr. Kaufman Scrubs come in, and he probably didn't say anything. But my boss went on to everyone that day and said, "Don't look him in the eyes when he comes here." I'm serious. Like, don't look him in the eyes.
You ever had that?
No.
I had it.
Who'd you have?
2 sets with.
Okay.
The first set was in 2001 during when The Sopranos was first very, very hot. And I'll tell the story. He's a great guy. I think he was always cool with me. Would it have been correct? When you get on the set, they tell you, come here for a second. Don't touch him. And don't make eye contact.
Yeah.
I got him laughing one day. And now when I see him with each other.
Yeah.
They'll try to fuck
Wait, who was it?
Whatever his name is. Bill Maher.
Okay. Oh,
He'll try to fuck your wife right in front of you.
Oh, yeah,
Bill Maher is a
yeah,
savage.
yeah,
He don't give a fuck. Funniest thing I ever heard with Bill Maher was when his first movie and Doug Stanhope went to his birthday party.
Yeah.
Because he would hang at the Improv and stuff. You know, just like, so Doug Stanhope picked up some chick and fucked her on his bed at the party. He found out about it. So Bill Maher called his management at the Improv. Doug Stanhope had an apology.
He had to apologize.
Oh my God.
Dear Mr. Moore, I'm sorry for fucking liquor.
The first time I saw Doug Stanhope was it was a long time ago, and it was for a showcase, for a network showcase. And I was like a staff writer on a show, and somebody said, "Hey, do you want to go to this thing?" And I said, "Yeah, I'll go to it." And everybody was getting up there. So this must have been like 96, 7, something around there. Yeah, 8, maybe. And he gets up, and everybody's just trying to be on their P's and Q's. It's all the networks are there, whatever. He got up there and just didn't give a shit and just went nuts and was hysterical. Everybody was looking at each other going, "This is the funniest guy." Nobody knew what they would do with him, so that was that. But good Lord, was he funny.
Speaking of funny, you see our boy made a fucking cover of Rolling Stone.
No, he didn't. Really? Seriously? That's amazing. That's amazing. Oh, good for him.
Yeah, that's the golden days.
That's hilarious.
Once you hit the cover, fucking.
I gotta see that.
Unless somebody's made it up. Unless somebody just made up a fake cover. How is that high?
Well, what's the chance of that? About 95%?
Let's see.
I mean, I hope he did. I hope he did.
He's a guy that didn't sell his album when he came on. He put on the album. Like,
that was when I went and saw him live, and you opened for him. That was a crazy night.
That was crazy.
I was standing next to Ron Jeremy the whole time.
I think Wheeler deserves it, but I think you might have had one thing to do it.
You think so?
I think you might have.
Yeah, I think somebody put on like a fake cover or something. I gotta get high.
Hey, I understand. It's understandable.
I go home at night. I'm lonely. Those fucking two broads go to bed at 9:30. You know what happens at the 9:30 at my house?
It's circus time.
It's either smoke dope or eat myself. You know what I'm saying? Like I found a bag of expired apples. 2 years old. They were so fucking strong. And so good. I went to Weight Watchers at Game for bottles. Like the lady said, "What happened to you? It was so great."
Did they give you points for the edibles? Did they tell you? The star that's 60 points.
60 calories. Okay. So I always, you know what I'm saying? It's like I got put down on the chart edibles. There's no cheap and chew on my phone.
Yeah, it's not on that.
No, I can't go to Weight Watchers and put cheap and chew. Let's try it. Let's see. Let's just see.
Maybe,
one of these days I'm sure it will be.
Yeah, they might have got with this program.
Let's see. Cheap and chew. Cheap.
This would really help the United States by tightening things up with
Australia. 7 points, crab, pizza, cheese, and macaroni. Fuck that.
That's because it knows that's what you're going to eat after you eat the cheap and chew.
Yeah. No. There's 16. The point, the stars are decking also. They're done. They're done. We'll never see a star.
No?
And the rest of it.
Okay. What, they just stopped making them?
They cut them down to 100.
Oh, okay.
The lady wanted to give me something the other day. The one-eyed Jew wanted to give me something the other day that I think I've put me through a lot in the last 6 years. And I love him very much. And he's my little brother. And I put him at them. I gave him heroin. And I didn't.
No, he didn't give me heroin.
Yes, I did. I always tell him, don't go for a piss test because you never know what's in it. They gave me a bottle of THC liquid. That was 1,000 milligrams of cocaine. Before we could take him to the syringe. When I saw the syringe, for 2 minutes ago, I'm going to bring it just to petrify me.
And just, yeah,
but I
just
think,
chase him around.
I think he won't come back from this. Like, he'll never come back from me coming here with a bottle.
You're not going to syringe, dude. What are you doing, nurse?
He would definitely go into the therapist and tell him I'm Friday.
Joey can give you a shot. He doesn't.
No. This wasn't even a needle in it. This is just the thing that you
just to take the water. Oh, yeah,
it was
sprayed it in your mouth.
It was very white. It was for white people.
Gotcha.
To be, like, oh my God, look at this. They take it and you put it under your tongue. Like now we have a spray. There's a spray that you get 1,000 milligrams. 20 fucking milligrams of spray.
That's insane.
But they cut it down because as of July 1st, the law changed.
Again?
So there's no edibles over 100 no more. So those cheap and choose in the last. Now I gotta eat 10 of those to get high. I don't want to do it.
That's too many points.
Yeah. Did he try the dropper? Because if you tried the dropper,
I'm not bringing the dropper because I don't think he'll come back. When I saw the dropper, it gave me goosebumps.
He's looking out for it.
And if it gave me
I was going to say, it was scared Joey.
I don't think you want to. I don't think you come. I think you'd sit here that night, do the dropper, and the next day it'd be like Marlon Brando and Apocalypse Now. The letter he wrote his wife, sell the house, sell the dog. I was never coming back. He went for a pack of cigarettes and never came back.
You might be right. If it scares you, I'm not going to argue with you.
Yeah, no, I was like, you know what? Please have enough of this life.
Yeah.
I'm going to make a clip of this.
It's funny because nobody anymore, like he knew about it. And I was very surprised. We were talking about novice. I grew up in a generation of novice. I spoke about it this week on stage that I grew up in a time that the light in New York, when you press the light and it tells you at 14. There was a time the light didn't tell you that. It just went to yellow and then fucking red.
Yeah.
But junkies would be at the light, wait across the street, and they would nod at the light. And then they would like go down the whole way. Oh my God, we're going to go down to 1 meter and then get up. I mean, I grew up in a generation of nodders. And I was telling them that one time a guy nodded on because Jersey City was where you got methadone. So when we get on the bus to go to high school, we get on the bus with nodders that took the bus. Like if you took methadone, then you got the free bus pass.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like last week you gave blood. And they gave you a $5 gift certificate to a cookie and the soda. They gave you $5. It's the same thing. When you look at the methadone, if you went down, they give you like a bus pass and something else. And this guy was on methadone, sitting on the bus already gone. And he had a newspaper open. It was open, and he was drooling. And the drool was connected from his lip to the paper, Greg Garcia. And there was just a big circle. And this motherfucker was hitting me. And I'm a bus started.
Yeah. His head's bopping all around.
He wouldn't wake up. And we're throwing, in those days, we'd shoot spitballs at me. We got on that bus, we were on heroin, we were tormented. Me and my boys were tormented.
These are the last 5 minutes of happiness.
Like, we'd start throwing spitballs at you and shit. I got this. And I blew a fart. Like one of those yoo-hoo. Because in those days, I used to always have a buttered roll. And you move from breakfast, that goes right to your fucking. There's no cereal, there's no oatmeal in Jersey. It's a buttered roll and a yoo-hoo.
Just bread and
yoo-hoo. I'll never forget that blew a fart. And this guy was out. Like he was like this. This is exactly what his eyes did, Greg Garcia. Like this one.
Does his own thing again.
Like he just woke up and he looked around and like, man. What the fuck is wrong with you guys?
They got that shot like Pulp Fiction that they give to people when they're too high on heroin. When they're going, if they run out of that shot, you could probably bottle your farts. Bottle your farts. Get it to the paramedics.
The whole smelling salt industry is
exactly.
It's so fucking funny. I have a friend who was a junkie. We still talk every day. He's my brother. He's my brother. I've known him since I was, and he went through a rough period. And whenever they would, so when he was my roommate, he was on heroin. I was just starting comedy in New York. And they would go on. His job was every Thursday. He went to the park to move a few rocks, and they give him $140 in food stamps, and then he'd go to the city and trade his heroin, you know.
You don't even trade for cash. You just direct for heroin.
Directly for heroin. And they give them a bus pass. Right, wait till you get on the heroin. I took the bus pass every Thursday. Because I used to work in the city. So for me to go into the city, my friend's father drove the bus. But even if I had to be at work at 10, I was so poor that I would have to get on the 6 o'clock bus because he would let me out for free. Now I could sleep late. So I would clip his bus pass. And then he'd get high on heroin. He looked at me and goes, I know you still have bus pass. And shit. I used to call him the pincushion at the time. He was my roommate. And he would go clean from Sunday to Thursday. And he'd pick up that $140 and he'd get like a gram of coke and whatever.
And was he sick from Sunday to Thursday? Or?
He would sleep. He would yell atrocities at me. I called me a loser and told me I'd never be a comic. And I loved him. I knew what he was going through. So from time to time, I'd give him $10 and tell him to go fake some shit. But once Thursday came, he would go to his grandmother's room and start fucking blasting. And I mean, when you went to that room Sunday, Greg Garcia, there was blood on the wall. You thought Sharon Tater got killed from him missing the vein. Like, he would have to spend his whole Monday wiping down the walls. I mean, he was losing a gallon of blood every fucking weekend. So me and my buddies used to call him the pincushion. We'd see him walking back over the bridge and we'd beat him. Get in the car, you fuck. It was, now he's clean and sober. Nothing happened. But he knows when people are lying. Like, as soon as Prince is playing pulled over, he called me. Prince got about a week left. I swear to my mother's word. Really? Yeah, he sees it. Like, one time we went to do the Artie Lang show, and when we left, he goes, I don't know who the fuck he's kidding. He's high, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, he's not. He's been sober for years.
But this is that's so long.
He tells. So it was fun. Yesterday, he called me out of the blue. Mercy, my daughter watched the news. And I just go, like, what's up, George? He goes, look at these fucking idiots. Demi Lovato is going through a rough time at the hospital. She OD'd on the 24th. She's not going through a rough time. She's dope sick, you dumb motherfucker. Like, he was arguing with the fucking newspaper. Yeah. Like, he just picks up shit. He'll tell me little things that I don't see. You know, you think you're like a man of the world. But, man, he always picks shit off. Like, he'll tell me this guy's a no.
Yeah.
This guy smells like heroin. Like, how do you know? I can smell it. I still smell that shit.
He's like an airport dog.
Oh my God, he's amazing. He'll tell me when people, I can't tell. I can't tell when people, I know when people doing coke.
Yeah.
But I can't tell when somebody's doing like a pill or something like that.
Yeah.
Who gives a fuck?
I mean, we're a weird town. Like, coke, I was blown away when I moved here how much coke was in LA. Like, I'm sure there was somewhere in Boston, but I didn't hang around with the people. And everyone does coke.
Where did you see cocaine?
The first party I went to here was somebody I worked with.
She is my sister.
That's crazy.
And it wasn't on the table. It wasn't anything like the Hollywood parties that you hear about. It was just that they were taking key bumps, is what they called it. They had like right in front of you. They went into another room, but they said that what they were going to do. And it's, I hear everyone talking about it. I've know that's one of the few things I apparently haven't done. But they talk very openly about here. And that's one that I don't hear about is heroin. I hear pills now. I know that's a huge thing across America.
Because they're communities. Drugs are a community. Okay, like I'd sit here for years and tell you I was a junkie for 27 years. I think in 27 years, 3 people approached me for heroin. Maybe 2 people approached me for that.
Yeah.
It's a community. You know, when I first moved here, Josh moved to me. Let me talk to Josh. Tell him to tell you about the heroin lesbians.
Okay.
They were fucking hot. I mean, torture. The one's father invented something.
Yeah.
So they got checks. At that time, we lived in the building. I slept on Josh's couch. He had like 9 kids.
Yeah.
Fucking wife.
You were babysitting.
And then the building was crazy. We had a Jew upstairs that thought he was black. And he called himself White Lightning. And he sold weed. And there was a Mexican guy on the 3rd floor that sold coke. And there was a publicist. And there was a chick that had the best tits you ever seen in your life, but she had no chin. But she still sucked a tremendous dick. And you would coke that and you went over there and knocked on the door. But there was a chick that was a light porn actress that was phenomenal. She's from Canada. I just saw her in a movie with Eric Roberts recently. Fucking phenomenal. Lived in that building.
Yeah.
But there were these 2 chicks that lived in that building that were beautiful. 25, you know. I never had, you know, hi, how you doing? I didn't know the whole story. Josh knew the whole story. Josh would talk to, Josh is good looking, they would talk to Josh. Josh would film me, and they wouldn't even take shots. Josh didn't have body odor because they were heroin people.
Inspiration? Shop right
Once
by
your clogs
for over
fill up,
30,000 mouth-watering choices.
you don't want to sweat because you don't want to sweat the heroin out. So you eat chocolate that activates the heroin out. I mean, good Lord. And then I got to meet them. And they were telling me they always wore sunglasses. They didn't work, and they would just shoot heroin. But they were not a little bit, they were both skinny, they were puking.
Yeah.
Well, and that's when I learned that this community, like they had 30 friends that would come over, they were all on heroin.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
They stuck to their own.
You know who does meth? No. Okay, they sell 29,000 kilos of meth a year. Somebody's got to be fucking doing it.
Yeah.
I don't do it.
I'm not running in the meth crowd. I don't.
Yeah, it's so weird. Like, who runs in these crowds? So that's why they're little, like pills.
Yeah.
I know a couple people. I have two friends that do massive amounts of blow, and they eat massive amounts of pills. Every once in a while, the guy calls me and goes, "Joe, you're a comic. You know anybody?" I know a few people. I'll get them 100 of this or 100 of that. But the community and the price is like absurd.
Yeah.
Like absurd. Like I get 60 fucking Xanaxes. What do you call those anxiety 1.2 pills? They last me a year. I think I get fucking $14.
Yeah.
You know what my buddies pay for pills? Like $13 a fucking pill.
That's crazy. It's a big business.
One of those oxygen that fucking dude was eating. That we were talking about, the Rush Limbaugh.
Oxycontin.
Those are $50 a piece. I heard.
Yeah.
I don't know. I never knew. I knew one person who did Oxycontin in my life.
Can't get off that shit either.
Yeah, that's great. It's scary, but do you agree? Do you think that Coke is maybe a bigger circle out here? Like I think there's. You walk outside and you talk to people about Coke. When I was growing up, it was using Coke, and now it's like, oh, yeah,
you watch Narcos at all?
Yeah,
love watching.
Yeah,
you see the part when he thought he was gonna get fired and he quit. When the guy called him back, goes, "We'll make this bullshit then go away." And they talked to him. They said something. They moved 370 metric tons of cocaine. A ton is 2,000. Fuck. The United States alone in the early 80s was doing 400 tons a year of cocaine. Good Lord. Somebody was doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Somebody was fucking doing it.
Where'd you grow up?
Right outside of Boston.
Okay.
I'm sure they had it, but I was a dork, and I saw weed and stuff, but even talking to people, like I heard people go do ecstasy. I heard about that more than that, but I didn't hear anyone doing heroin or meth.
Super hard. You grew up in Virginia, the drug neighborhood. I mean, exposed to it.
No, you'd see some stuff. There was weed. People smoking weed. I think I saw Coke like 2 or 3 times randomly. Ecstasy wasn't around, so I never even heard of that. There were guys that did acid. A bunch of guys that ended up following the Grateful Dead. They did a lot of acid. My first day of college, somebody put acid in my beer. Slipped it right in the beer. Yeah.
What'd you think?
No, it was the second day. First day, we were all drinking in the dorm, and we were drinking vodka. And the second night, we were drinking, and these guys came down, and they, the night before, saw a Grateful Dead poster on my dorm room. And they're like, hey, man, you want to take some acid with us? Come on. I was like, nah, I'm good, man. I'm just going to drink. So, you sure? I'm like, nah, I'm good. So then they called me down to the room, me and this other guy, and they're like, come on down, we're going to drink some beers. And they gave me a beer. Miller Genuine Draft, I think it was. And the top wasn't on it, but I wasn't thinking anything. And then, here you go, let's have some beer. So I drank. And then I started feeling like something's a little wrong here, you know, something's going on. And then I chugged the beer because we were playing some trivia game, and I threw up, and there was a little bit of blood, and I was like, "What is this?" You know, I got a little nervous, and I decided I'm gonna go to the doctor. And these guys drove me there, and then it wasn't until I got back because the doctor was like, "What'd you do?" And I go, "I don't know. I drank a lot of vodka yesterday." He goes, "All right, we'll take these pills. You'll be fine." And I came back to the dorm, and that's when somebody told me, "Hey, those dudes put acid in your beer." And then I just was up all night, and just finally fell asleep at about 6 a.m. Woke up around 10 a.m. Went down to grab the empty bottle of vodka from 2 nights before, knocked on their door. One guy's laying in bed, the other one is standing at the door. I said, "Did you fucking put acid in my beer?" He goes, "Yeah, man." He goes, you thought it was cool. You thought it would be. And I hit him with the bottle and gave him about 8 stitches in his chin. Blood started jumping out of his, and they were all bigger than me. And then the guy in bed started to get up, and I told him to stay in the bed, so he did. And then they came back to school, and I was pissed off at them, obviously, because what the hell. And they didn't get in any trouble in school. They ended up turning themselves in because they thought I was going to turn them in. That turned crazy. And then the funny part, the ending of this was, I decided, you know what, I'm going to sue these dudes because they're being assholes and they're flaunting it a little bit. I was still pissed off that they did it. And I'm 18 years old. And I'm thinking, I wouldn't do that today, but I'm like, I'm 18. I'm going to do this. I sue them. I ended up suing them for $6 million. Right? Now these guys don't have. I hit them with a lawsuit for $6 million. They don't have any money. And my lawyer is my soccer coach when I was a little kid, right? So we're talking about we're going to go to court with them and everything. This was all happening over the summer. And a day before court, my soccer coach pulled me and goes, "Listen, man, they've made an offer." I'm thinking, all right, cool. What's this? He said they've offered $7,000. And I said, $7,000? He goes, yeah, but I'll take my cut. You'll get about $5,000. And I go, "But you were suing for $6 million." He goes, "Yeah, but they don't have it. And if you get up on that stand, you got to sit there in front of everybody. You got to talk about every single thing you've ever done. They're going to grill you. Your parents are going to hear anything you've done or your perjury." I said, "Take the $7,000.
It's fucking crazy how an attorney could make you become like a fucking victim. Yes, that's the sad part of.
But he was right too. It would have been blood from a stone. These they didn't have anything.
When I robbed that jewelry store, I was 18. It was the same thing. The guy made a smart move. When I disappeared, the cops were looking for me. The guy was really connected. They told me, I said, "Listen, if you're arrested, what's he gonna do? Pay your restitution." I go in front of a judge and go, "I only make $10 a month."
Yeah.
"You get $1 a month for life. By the time you get your money back." So he paid the cops to do it the other way. We got the insurance for 30 days.
There you go.
Because if you get arrested, then you got to get restitution. I
didn't want to chase these guys down the road. But one other thing was they said, when we hit them with the lawsuit, they said to my lawyer, they said, "Hey, we're going to countersue you because your client, hit our client in the chin with a bottle and he got 8 stitches in his chin. So we're going to sue you right back." And my lawyer quickly said, "Yeah, my client was on acid. I mean, he's not responsible for whatever the fuck he did."
It's what the soccer teacher.
Yeah, exactly. He was a good soccer coach and a good lawyer. So yeah, that was a crazy little intro to college for sure.
It's so crazy. I was telling Lee that it's like my situation with my ex-wife. We have a really bad situation. I have a 27-year-old who talked to it a couple of weeks ago. I wrote a letter. I was like, I wrote all the things how I fucked up, And there's times today I go, someday she's going to raise her hand, but she can't. She can't.
Yeah.
Because she's going to expose herself to even worse. It's even worse for her. She's a pillar in our community. All I have to do is open one thing. She could probably sink me. I could sink her because those type of people are very concerned about what people think. She felt like she came to one time and she goes, "I'm changing the baby's name because the friends I hang out with are really crazy about Spanish last names." She's part of that community in Boulder that they're very avant-garde. She wanted to get to have a Spanish last name.
Now you wrote the letter. Did you send it?
No, I wrote it on Friday.
Now why not send it?
I wanted to come clean to myself.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Sorry for yourself.
Yeah, for a long time I had anger. I had this anger out of me. Listen, Let's say it was 1995. We're not really ready to be married in 95.
And you know how he did it, Terry?
Yeah. Would you leave your kid with me in 95? I don't think so. Not that I was a bad person.
Yeah. Looking at the board
just
right
wasn't
now,
ready.
he's going to
How
try
old were
to
you?
a more difficult ball. 16-0 start.
I was 32 going on 60. I was mentally fucking, between the drugs, deaths, and the fucking damage I had been through. I was done, And I said a lot of things, and I made a lot of actions, but I'm not stupid. This is one of those situations where you did this and I did this. She could never write. She could write a book about 85 to what she saw in those 6 years would fucking destroy people.
Oh my gosh, that
It would destroy people. She's right there with me. Like she would make me take piss tests for marijuana, but she would break into my house and steal weed. She's one of those type of people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you never win with those types of people. Like I say to her, I would get to my house and I could see the trail of weed. Because I always had weed in the bottom freezer in the lettuce bin. And that's why we keep it moist in Colorado.
The crisper.
Yeah, it was like weed in there. And then when I was dealing out, she would go in and take weed. And go to the probation department. They would test me for marijuana. See, that's the playing field she was at.
Yeah.
So when she went to that playing field, I think it's the playing field that I grew up on. To fucking seek and destroy, And I was telling her to believe that when I did speak to her a couple of years ago, I apologized to her because we went to court one last time for contempt. And we went up in front of the judge that sentenced me. And by this time, I had this judge at my pocket. I was writing letters every month. I'm trying. Going back to school. I got my GED. I'm turning into a comedian. I'm trying. Thank you for giving me a chance. Thank you for sending me to prison. I had this guy.
Yeah.
I had him just in case something happened again. He had documentation.
Yeah.
We walk into civil court, and there he is. And I won. I'll never forget on the way out. They told me if you don't show up with the kid again, it's contempt of court. We'll lock you up and have a sheriff. And I remember walking out of there, and that 200-yard walk was the worst walk of her life.
Yeah.
Like Greg Garcia, I said things that a human being doesn't say. I went way below the belt in front of her husband. Like, did you ever tell him I put the carrots in your pussy? I mean, oh yeah. And she even brought the detective that arrested me, the character witness against me. He was, he's still involved in drugs, and he's telling me to shut up. I'm like, you shut the fuck up, bitch. You can't arrest me. I'm just talking out here. This has nothing to do with you. And her face is red. And then when they walked out, there were a husband couple teams. I said so many things to her, like I stuck it up her ass with the carrot. I call it Kathy Carrots.
How long did this court stuff go on for? I mean, it's so toxic.
It went on from 91 to 95. It ruined me, Greg Garcia. It ruined me financially. It ruined me because we were friends. We were friends. This didn't have to happen this way. But I knew after the third month of our separation that I was going to have a hard time with that kid. Something was going to go down with this kid. That was her weapon.
Yeah.
To show me, that was her weapon to show me that she was the boss. So with me, I got in that car July 1st of 1995, and I went bold. I knew that my life was going to change. I was never going to be, if I was never going to get invited to a first communion. I knew it.
Yeah. You know it's done.
And then I would come home. I would talk to Malcolm. I would make a lot of money, and I would go home to meet her. At that time, since I had left the state, I really had lost my rights to see her. So I would call her and say, let me meet with her on Wednesday. And she would go, okay, and she'd call me back. No, she's too busy with Girl Scouts.
Nicely done,
she can't come see you. So that's how she took her out of the country playing games. She moved to London for a few years. It was rough.
But now you get to do it all.
Well, now I got a second chance. Yeah. This is why I'm to the book with this. To the book with this. Like I told you, I had 5 lives. Cat's got 9 lives, and before we told you, I was a volunteer fireman for a while. Then it was the start that I was telling Levy and that about the 90s. That the success I had playing comedy is because of the work I did in the 90s.
Yeah, I heard you talking about that.
Sleeping on buses, trains, it's So
a couple of times. You get to do it all again, and there's nobody that isn't going to be a better parent in their late 40s and 50s than they would have been in their 20s and 30s. I had kids in my 20s and 30s, and I know I'm a better parent now for the youngest one than I was for the for the other ones, because you're young too.
How old is your oldest?
20.
And what's your relationship?
It's great. It's great. I would say that's the roughest relationship as he was growing up, because he knew what he wanted to do. He was more bullheaded than the other ones, I guess. And then I was also working a ton. I would work on My Name is Earl. I'd work 14 hours a day, every day. And so I would see people. I'd see the family on the weekends, because when I left in the morning, they were asleep, and when I got home at night, they were asleep.
How was that, Greg? How does that feel?
It's rough. It's rough. Now, they all turned out great. My kids all turned out great. So I'm not going to say like, oh, I wish I would have done that, because also that afforded us opportunities for other things. It's a balance. And I think, a lot of people, in the 20s and 30s, the balance of just like, you got to provide for these people. And at the same time, you want to be there, so I tried very hard on weekends to be there, and not work on the weekend. And then when I did have time off, we get stretches of times off, in TV during the hiatuses, and I'd make sure I was around for that. But I know for a fact, I'm definitely better dad now. I got more time now too, but you mature, you're less selfish, everything as you get older.
I was not ready. Like I was not ready for my marriage. I told Lee that I failed at marriage. Who fails at marriage? It's the simplest thing in the world. You fuck and you talk. Right or wrong.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah. I mean, you fuck and you talk and you communicate. When I failed at divorce, I don't know if it was my Catholicism or me being me, it really got to me. I had failed at something so simple with a human being. That's it. Hey, listen, you fail at fucking rock climbing. That's one thing.
Yeah.
You take a bronze in skiing in the Olympics. That's another thing. Us failing as human beings, that's absurd to me.
Yeah, but you also have the added, stuff of, you're talking about having to deal with another person, you're rock climbing, there's just a rock. You gotta, to fail at a marriage, it is a two-way street. There's a lot going on there. I wouldn't beat yourself up too much about that.
No, there is, Greg, because no matter what happens, throughout the arguing or whatever, there's got to be a point before you go to the corner. I could turn at you and go, Greg, can I talk to you for a second?
Yeah.
7 years here. 3 we dated before. That's 10. We need this.
Yeah, you think you'd be able to figure it out then?
Really?
Yeah.
You know this? What the fuck? You dropped a $500,000 and you didn't have. I dropped $200,000 I didn't have. Plus another 100 in credit cards I didn't have. For what? Why should we go fucking $800,000 with that friend no more? She doesn't have a dad. She has a stepdad. She did a great job. I can't take nothing away from her. But that always comes back to right your man.
Yeah. But everybody wants to win. It's about ego.
It's about ego. So I put it in simplest terms as I can. Ready? She got a life. And I got a life. I got to become my and she got away from me and raised her daughter the way she was. It's just like man on fire. I like it.
Yeah.
That's it. Man on fire. I like her. This time I said that, Jesus Christ, she was there the night I robbed those dudes with the 9mm. She was the one who brought you up. Tell 3 hours stories, but I got stories.
Yeah, you got stories too.
I got stories.
And you got more places to tell them. So.
Oh yeah, I told half of them. I got a 4G story. That shit won't go away. Yeah, I'm saying I got a 4G story that I can get fathers behind me and support. You know what I'm saying? Like, fathers do this, fathers do stuff. I just had too much pride to contact them. You can contact them. Either or. I had a friend. I can't say I grew up with another kid. I grew up in 5th grade. He married a chick that her father had so much money. They didn't get the kid. Like the wife changed her name. Yeah. The kid changed her name. He hasn't seen his kids So she was free.
Just vanished.
Vanished.
Huh.
Those eyes.
Went to court, beat him in court for sole custody. He got visitation. She turned it around.
Most guys would be
She turned the rehab stint around for pain medication. He had broken like a leg, got hooked on pain medication like in 2001, and she turned it into this fucking. And I know this guy. This guy's had the same job all his life. One of those dirty dudes. Just grew up with him. He's never no contact, no nothing.
I agree.
Yeah, I definitely, if I would have married any number of girls that I dated instead of my wife, I don't think, it wouldn't have lasted. There's luck there too. Finding the right person. But growing up, there wasn't a lot of divorce growing up where
No.
And then I moved out here. I moved to my neighborhood probably 16 years ago, and I met like 10 to 12 couples. 11 of them divorced at this point. And it's crazy to me. And I said to my mother, I was saying that to her, and I was like, yeah, she goes, that's because they have money. And I said, I don't know about that. People, get divorced. She goes, no, because they can afford. She goes, you think I would have stayed with your father if we could have afforded 2 houses? Because you think for a second, if I thought I could get my own house, I would have been. I thought, yeah, all right, I can see that. But it also reminds me of something somebody said once. They asked this old couple, they said, how did you stay married? What was your secret? How did you stay married for 50 years? He said, well, we didn't get divorced. That's pretty much it. We kept fighting, but, we just stayed.
I mean, I had good and bad days with my wife.
Yeah.
But I couldn't imagine a life without my wife.
Oh, no, absolutely. No, absolutely.
Especially a guy like you that worked 14-hour days and she covered the spread.
Oh, shit.
Both wives are like,
oh, no. I couldn't have done any of that.
Fuck you.
She ended up, she's got to carry the load for all that stuff. And I think you're also in the thick of it with a kindergarten. I mean, the most we ever fought was when the kids were little. When we're stressing about the kid and we're arguing over what's the best way to deal with the kid and whatever. And then I noticed, as the kids got older and we stayed married longer, you kind of mellow out with that stuff. And it gets to the point now where, like, if somebody raises their voice or starts to get mad, it's almost like the other person's like, oh, shit, this is that important to you? No, that's good. You got it. Your way. We don't need to fight.
I grew up in a house, bro, where it was yelling and screaming and drove me crazy. I hate walking into a house that is yelling.
Yeah.
So I always swore, thinking over the years that I don't like drama in my house. I don't even want to see a fucking beer bottle in my house. Like, I like coasters and shit.
Yeah.
I always think that your house should be your sanctuary. Like, I go home for peace. Like, when I was married, the year before I got separated, I would go home to hate myself. Like, it was a home without a heart. Have you ever lived in a home without a heart?
I have been lucky not to, but I can imagine.
It sucks. I lived in 2 homes without a heart. Before my mother died, the home didn't have a heart. She was like 2 people who lived together.
Yeah.
And when I got sick, she became mom again. It was too late. She died 2 months later. And then when I got married, I lived in a home. The last year was a fucking horror show. I basically went home at 6, ate dinner, kissed the baby. And I was a doorman at a comedy club. But it was like I didn't want to be home. That's a horrible.
Yeah. No, that's rough. And I've worked with guys that don't want to go home. And it's just like,
it kills me.
Yeah.
Those guys, those type of people fucking kill me.
Yeah. So they're either in charge and they're keeping everybody there because they don't want to go home, or you see them just staying after it's over and like they're just staying in their office. And I don't get that, man. That's rough. That is rough.
I can't imagine. I've had 50,000 arguments with agents over the years about this shit that we do. And how it works for me and what doesn't work for me. The every other week works for me. And time off, like in June, December, works for me. These guys that go out a lot with kids, I don't see it.
Yeah.
You have to be home.
Yeah.
You have to be home. I love doing stand-up and making money. We all do.
Especially because they got to go on the weekends.
Yeah.
And that's when the kids are home. I mean, it's one thing if they can get out during the week or something because, kids are busy a lot of the time. But, yeah, then those weekends are important. They got the games, they got whatever else. Other thing I do is I don't talk about. I never bring any work home with me either. I think that's a key sometimes too.
I may ask you, Dad, was it cool working with this guy? Dad, how was it working with this chick? That's not what your house is about.
No. I mean, once in a blue moon. I mean, my oldest son, he's interested in entertainment business, so he'll ask more questions. But like, I won't come home and talk about work at all. Like, we just finished shooting the season 2 of the guest book. My wife doesn't know what it's about, nothing. And she'll sit down and watch them all, and that'll be great because I'll have a fresh audience. But I don't come home and talk about work at all. There's too many other things going on. With 3 kids, there's other stuff going on. They don't need to hear about it, nor do they don't really care too much.
Now, what's your typical year look like now?
Well, now it's been pretty relaxed now because with this new show, we do 10 episodes at a time. I write all 10 of them myself, so I just take my time to get those done, and then we shoot them for 10 weeks, and then we edit them for about 2 months. It takes.
So how long does it take you to write the 10 episodes?
Usually, it depends on the episode, but usually what I'll do is I'll have a pretty good idea. I'll let something just like kind of marinate in my mind a little bit. I'll be thinking about it. I'm not even writing stuff down, but I'm just thinking about it for a while. Then I'll sit down. I can usually write a script in a day. I sit down at 6:30 in the morning, and I don't get up out of that chair except to go grab something to eat. Sometimes my wife comes back in the house and says, walk around a little bit. I won't get out of that chair until 4 in the morning. And just write. And I'll just force myself to just keep going and going and going and going. And by the end of it, I got a first draft. And then next couple of days, I'll kind of mess with it a little bit and play with it a little bit. But it's that one day when I decide I'm going to write, I just write it on the calendar, and that's it. I just sit there, and I just refuse to get up until it's done.
They can do 2 hours of the show.
Yeah.
Because of my back. I can do 2 hours, and then force myself to get out and walk. If not, I'll stay there all day.
Yeah.
And that's not bueno either for me. Because I'll lose my fucking mind.
Yeah, and you're not really on but also you're not on a deadline necessarily, right? I mean, because you're writing, you're collecting all your stuff, but is somebody saying to you, we got to get it by here, we got to have it then?
That would kill me.
Yeah.
That would kill me because I'm not confident in my writing. So when I wake up the next day and I look at it, if I wrote 2 paragraphs, 1 paragraph always goes.
Yeah.
It's this shit.
Yeah.
So 1 paragraph always goes. I'm basically writing a little every day, and I'm also cleaning up yesterday's writing.
Yeah. Well, you got to just write down whatever and don't worry about it and just get through it and then go
So I write 4 different things at a time. I wake up in the morning and I have a notebook. I put my theory in. I feel like shit. This was coming on. I can't believe I did this. Nobody goes out of this again. Just fill whatever's on there.
Yeah.
Then I have a notebook that I write in my book every couple of days. So what's going on in my life? So if I die, I want to know what the fuck I was thinking.
Yeah.
That time period. That's very important for children. So there's never any doubts. My mother died. There's not a lot of doubts. Oh my God. This is a guy wrapped up rubber bands. The fucking safe deposit box.
Yeah.
The iPad. I have jokes now. I really like the iPad. I like that. I'm really writing that on there. And I have jokes in there. I have the book. And I just have it.
Yeah.
Like this one I'm writing is about martial arts in America today. When I joined martial arts, there was a black dude that walked around with a shin suit with a sword. And if you did any shit, you hit you with the fucking sword. You had to do push-ups and you had to bring your karate teacher your report card. If you didn't get good grades, you weren't allowed to go in and do jumping jacks and sit-ups. Or you weren't allowed to learn. He would make you sit there and do fucking homework. Your uniform on like a fucking gun. You can't do that.
Yeah.
I take my daughter in martial arts and I have a problem. Tell them to fucking rock off. Tell them to stop doing somersaults. Tell them to stand in attention. Don't be scared. Yell at that fucking kid.
Yeah, that's why we're here.
Yeah, that's why we're here. For discipline. Yell at them. They look at me. Don't look at me. Look at him. He's the fucking boss for you.
Yeah.
I got a little pissed last week. For the first time, I gotta be honest with you guys. She came home with a medal. I said, what the fuck is the medal for? And she told me that it was a race, but she raced herself, so they gave her a fucking medal. So yesterday at karate, She couldn't do the punch combination. She started crying. When we get home, she'd always get out of the car and she'd want to race. And then she'd say, I win, I win, I win, you know. I wanted to teach her how to fucking lose sometimes. It's not all win. You can play a card game with her, she's fucking good at it. She beats me every time. It doesn't cheat to beat her. I actually have to cheat to beat her. And she gets pissed. I beat her, but I gotta show her. Yeah, but you have to show you.
They gotta lose to get that feeling in their stomach, so they want to win the next time. You know.
So I was taking her to jiu-jitsu, but there was one guy, and there was no other kids, and she was learning great stuff. But I wanted to see what her reaction would be to kids her age. If I give you a 12-year advantage, I'm hoping to train you. You don't let me choke this shit. Because if they use bitch slap, you can come down with bitch slap. But let's see if you do or do today.
Yeah.
No, I'll give you that thing. I'll punch you in the fucking stomach. That's the school I come from. I want to see him in the blood. So when life fucking real, you know, when I look at karate, one day they kick you in the stomach so hard. That they knock you right up. When you're a kid, you get to get actually knocked out.
Oh, yeah. You think you're dying.
Listen, you can get back in that right now. I'll punch you in the stomach 50 fucking times. You get out there and the fucking stomach. I fucking did you understand it. She made me go back to today's society and parents aren't allowed to do that. They'll come to town, she's scared. I never see you do that.
Yeah. Yeah, my buddy was telling me a story about he just put his hands on some kid's shoulder because the kid was acting crazy at the park, and he said, oh come on, buddy, and just they went nuts on him. Don't you touch my kid, blah, 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 my kid's fine, you know, don't, and just trying to move them, you know, out of the
I tell my wife, because my wife is part of the white generation, that she can't. I tell my wife all the time, mind your fucking business. About 3 years ago, she went to a park in Thousand Oaks or something for one of those fucking things, and there was almost a child abduction. Ever tell you about that? I told you. I told the story.
All right.
And how they do it is they cause a commotion, and then you go run over with your kid, and they steal your kid. And I told my wife, don't you ever turn your back on that. My wife knows the rule now.
Yeah.
Don't ever turn your back on Mercy. Listen, I don't give a fuck. I told my wife about a month ago. Do me a favor. I'm not here to insult you. You know I love you and respect you. I make the cash in this house. Put that fucking phone away. Watch your kid. Don't turn into the Studio City parents. I've seen shit in this vicinity here.
Yeah.
That'll make you fucking curl. I've seen people bring their kids to swim class that are allowed, you know, like mommy and me, and they put their nanny in the pool with their kid.
Yeah,
while they sit there and fucking text and do whatever the fuck they do. Parents filled with tattoos and shit. What do you think this kid's gonna grow up to be? What are his chances?
Yeah.
So with me, I'm old school. You know what, man? I did some bad things growing up. I had some bad breaks. But I got myself out of it because of what I learned as a young man. What was instilled in me by my mother. And all those lessons, I remember, though.
Oh, sure.
I remember my mother going, dude, you don't get back in that karate school. It's not going to be good for you in the college.
Yeah.
It's going to be a long day for you in college. I'm going to beat you to the fucking ground.
I used to get spanked all the time. I would get hit with this metal ruler, and there was no doubt that I deserved every single one I got. And it made me think twice about doing some other stupid shit. It was the way to go.
It's fucking crazy. It was the way to go. But I kind of got pissed at that. Like this Friday, they're doing two buddies that get married.
Yeah.
At the camp, I gotta go witness two buddies get married. You know, all that shit's cute. I like it. But there's a lot of shit that's going on in the kid world that fucking doesn't cook me.
Yeah.
Just, you're not doing nothing good for this kid. You're not doing any fucking favors.
No, I trust me, especially my younger one. I see these other little kids he runs around with, and they run roughshod over their parents. And it's just like, what the fuck, man? How are you going to be talked to like that? It's like, kids just say, no, ain't doing it, you know. It's like,
That freaked me out as a kid because my parents weren't. I got spanked a few times, but that was the extent of it. But when I saw kids talk back to their parents and like yell at their parents,
oh shit! I almost died. Yeah, first time I saw like a white kid right there. White kid was notorious. I'm not doing it. I saw that shit and I was like, ooh, that's fucking stitches in my house. That's automatic fucking stitches. That talking back.
Yeah.
My mom used to give me this backhand. It's called top, I won't top. Just a backhand. Yeah. If I said something wrong from time to time, it was like effortless. You just give me my lip would bleed and shit a little bit. I got 1,000 of those.
Yeah.
I remember getting beaten once at a restaurant. And you know, my mom used to, the Cuban doctor we had in the days, the Cuban doctor would make a house call. My mom was in with him so much, he told us there's no reason for me to come back. Here's a syringe and here's some penicillin. If you get sick, just give him a shot yourself.
Yeah.
Bro, my mom was shot happy with that fucking thing. Because I was a sickly fucking kid.
Every time you sneeze,
oh, come here. And she would get me like in a, what's that when they hold you up in a
headlock? Yeah.
Because I would go, it's gonna hurt, it's gonna hurt. She would get me in a guillotine and fucking stab me with the needle. And I'd toughen up so I'd have a bruise halfway down. You know how many blood clots I had? All these people that died from blood clots. Don't fuck me, bro. I had so many blood clots. There was a time she gave me, I couldn't walk for 4 fucking days because I would fight her. I would fight them. I had this doctor called Orlando Gonzaga that was filthy. So he would come over to the house, he'd take my temperature, and he goes, I told you, I'm going to have to give you a shot. And I go, all right, let me think about it. He loved it because he wanted to have a couple drinks. Yeah. A couple bumps of coke and shit. And then he'd come back in and he'd give me a shot. I didn't know he was a cokehead until I got older. Years later, he'd come and join. Oh, cool, they give me a shot. And then, like, after my mother died, he was my family doctor. I went to him for years. And I go, right. Yeah. I got to deal with him. I would be late more every week and we gave me prescriptions for steroids for my friends. So all my friends had Anadol and Woodstraw, and I would just bring them an 8-ball. And the last time I saw him was a discotheque. He came up. I'm like 19. He's like 50. He's like, I told you. Get me the
We've only seen one already.
Yeah. But yeah, so we just walked away from it. That's it. And about 2 years ago, he's still alive in Miami. They stripped his license. Yeah. Because he had 2 kids that were my age. In the 80s, they stole all his prescriptions. Okay. And fucking was giving out Valium and fucking Xanax all the time.
He does all that shit and the kids screw him over.
The kids screw him over, God. There was a time in this country where you didn't go to school, you had to get a doctor's note. The doctor charged you $20,000. Yeah. You know that? No. You just go to, you can stay at school for a week, give them the wrong number, and then you go to the doctor and say, what's wrong with you? 25 hours. And then you get 20 and you're a doctor's note, you go to school, get the doctor's note and tell them, you can't do that no more.
Where are you getting $25?
Don't worry about it. You know, you see drugs and you steal it from your dad. Somebody's got $25. What else is happening?
Oh, man.
So what do you do now to October? You just editing?
Just editing, and then this show should come on in October, and figure out what's next. And actually, just thinking about some ideas, and
Small steps.
that's it. I'm going to chill out a little bit.
I did not know about the Jimmy Buffett thing.
Oh yeah, closed in about 4 months. It did not do as good as they expected, but it's going to go on a national tour in 2019, and they think that's where they're really going to get the audiences. The New York audiences, the theater critics, they were not ready for a Jimmy Buffett musical, and you really need those really good reviews to get people to come and Broadway.
Did Jimmy Buffett ever show up?
Oh yeah. He would come on special occasions and play at the end of the show and stuff. And he was great. He was a cool guy. I loved working with him and everything. Ended up hanging out with him down in the Keys and flying in a plane with him where he's flying the damn plane. And it was a lot of fun. 70 or 71, one of the two. And still plays shows, goes out there with just shorts and a t-shirt and no shoes.
And Tommy still gets 10,000 people a show.
Oh, he sells. Oh yeah. He'll sell out major stadiums. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And that's why they're going to strategically, what they do is now that the show will tour, and it'll go to all their cities where he sells out. And so once we get out of New York, I think it's going to do pretty well, because it did great in La Jolla, in New Orleans, Houston, and Chicago. We went to all those places and sold out the whole time. It did great. Then went to Broadway. They booked the theater that I think is too big, 1700 seat theater. And, you know, you got to sell those seats to keep the lights on in those places, or they're going to put another show in.
When did Margaritaville come out? I gotta go take quickly.
Yeah.
Keep entertainment.
So did you write this Broadway play?
Yeah, so we wrote the story for it. So basically, you take Jimmy. They tell you, look, here's Jimmy Buffett's music. We want to sing all these songs in the show. You guys got to come up with. I wrote it with this guy named Mike O'Malley. You guys have to come up with a story that it makes sense to hit these songs along the way. So you got to sit down and listen to the songs and be like, all right, well, what are we going to do here? So you listen to a song and then maybe you think, all right, I'll create a character that's in that song so it'll make sense when they're singing that song. So you kind of create the characters, listen to the songs, then you start to figure out a story and see how it all weaves together. So it was a big math project, really.